Welcome everybody. Today I wanted to bring your attention to the article which is linked from your page here. It says 10 interview killers. And when I've seen that piece, that article, I was really amazed because it is a rare example of what you can, how valuable could be the information you find on the internet. 10 most common advantage killers and how you can steer clear of them during the next job interview. So let's talk about not knowing your aim. In our terminology, we are saying there is a concept of life path. So what is your life path? And there are many, many questions which are testing your understanding or let's say your vision of your life path. So they ask you, how do you see yourself in 5 years? So what is your life path? From now, where do you move? What's your goal? Where are you going to be? Are we able to help you in achieving that goal? They might ask you, tell me about yourself. So I want to see your entire life. So how you came to the today's date. So what happened to you before? And it gives me a better idea of how persistent you are and how consistent you are. And then tell me about yourself. It's not just about what happened, but also it's about what you want to happen. And again, you come to the things you just answered in the question how you see yourself in 3, 4, 5 years. If you know what you are doing, you know what you are doing. If not, everybody can see that because they ask you those questions and whatever you tell them shows very well, very clearly, you do have certain goal or you do not have certain goal. Sometimes you do have a goal, which is good, but much better than having no goal. But that goal might not be really what they are able to help you with. If there is no long-term perspective in what you want to achieve and what we are able to give you, guys, I would rather hire someone else. For example, we had a situation here. The gentleman was asked how he sees himself in 3 years, and he said, I want to be in automation. And the position was in manual testing, and he did know it's manual testing. He just didn't realize there are certain techniques and certain rules of how to answer the question. It's not about glory, guys. It's about what you really want. And they do hire you, okay, because you want something big in your life, not just another job. So you want to be making difference in software testing. Whichever title comes with that, doesn't matter. 5 years from now, you could be a manager, you could be senior level test automation, or you could be a real guru in testing mobile application. You don't know, really, nobody knows. Nobody has the crystal ball, but you know what? Whatever you're going to do, you're going to be someone who makes a difference. That is the answer to that question. So if, guys, you know what you want, then there are maybe 10, 12, 15 questions attached, which are testing either you know or you don't know what's your goal, what's your aim. Okay? Why should we hire you? Same thing. Because my life path goes through your company. Being too needy. So if you're desperate, and some people are desperate, and most of the people are not able to really hide their emotions. So if you are excited, guys, everybody can see you are excited. If you are scared, everybody can see you are scared. If you are desperate, why could you be desperate? You have to pay bills. And so you need money. But most of all, you are desperate because you allow yourself to be desperate. It's not like life makes you desperate. It's you who makes you desperate. That is how you relate to the life. So things happen, you know. You are too needy, if you are too desperate, and they are saying here, neediness is probably #1 advantage killer. It means I cannot really trust you, you are not sincere, okay, whatever you say is just about getting a job. You are 100% short-term oriented person. That is what I know for sure. If you are needy, if you are desperate, you need it now, you need a paycheck now, I do not mind to give you paycheck. I just want to make sure 1 month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, you are still going to be working for that company and you are going to enjoy that work. If the only thing you enjoy is a paycheck, guys, I don't want you really. You have zero long-term perspective with us, zero. Lousy non-verbal communication. nonverbal communication is not just about confidence. They're saying this is about demonstrating confidence. Nonverbal communication is also about how you are dressed. Okay? Because you tell them non-verbally a lot about yourself. And that part is very easy because when you go to an interview, you call them or they call you. So there is no way to come to an interview without someone inviting you. Ask them, what is the dress code? And they tell you casual, or they tell you business casual, or they might say very informal. It depends where you live. I would say East Coast is much more formal compared to West Coast. And again, startup is much less formal than established company. But still, ask them. Don't take don't make guesses or assumptions. Just ask. It's very simple. Handshake. Practice with someone. Some people give you their hand like it's a salt fish. Dead and cold and no energy in it. You kill everything. Nobody wants people like that. It tells a lot about you. Learn how to do handshake. Eye contact is very important. And then I would say there are certain things you cannot fake. If you are confident, you are confident. And people see you are confident. I've seen lots of situations where two individuals go for same position. Or let's say start looking for a job at the same time. And one individual doesn't know much technically, but is very happy and confident. And so how much do you know about HTML? 10. Have no idea what it is, but yeah, it's okay, it's 10. Why 10? Because I'm good. And it comes with a belief, doesn't come with, logical conclusion. Some people are so knowledgeable and they still are not confident. They still find defects in who they are and what they are and how useful they are. And they look unconfident. And that question, which we discussed before, I believe, so on the scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you rate your knowledge of HTML? You might be a guru and you say 5. And you might know nothing and you say 10. So it doesn't measure your skill level. It measures your level of confidence. And that is the only reason the recruiters ask you that question. Are you confident? Because confidence sells. Compromising your position. That is what happens a lot to people who are new to the job market. So you go there, you feel miserable, you just want a job, and you are kind of no confidence. You are subordinate to these people. They are bosses, and you are crap. Okay. And if you feel like that, and lots of people feel like that because you totally depend on those guys, and they don't like it. I mean, normal people don't like it. I mean, there might be some pervert, who like that, but it is not how you get a job in general. So even if you don't know much, but you know what? If you don't know much and you do not ask for too much money, you are okay. You are in your range. So if you are worth $20 and you ask $50, then you have a problem. If you are kind of in $20 range and you are asking for $20, you are okay. I mean, you have no reason to compromise anything. So it is not just them interviewing you. It is also about you interviewing them. And you have to also understand that right now, as we speak, the job market is your market. It's not their market. They have no choices. We have a gentleman in other class. We just talked to him yesterday. Tuesday, he had an interview. And Wednesday, we talked. And he was upset because all these people told him he doesn't know this, he doesn't know that, and they really wanted someone who would charge $50 at least. I mean, scripting languages, automation framework, God knows what. And he was submitted to that position at $20 per hour level. Guys, at $20 per hour level, you might be very thankful he came on time. Lots of people cannot come on time. But you know what? Thursday we talk, and the recruiter asks him to come to the office and sign the paperwork because the job offer is coming. Looks like that. That people are unhappy, okay? But you know what? Nobody makes them happy. So they now have to choose, whatever they feel less unhappy with. That is your market. You are expected to be picky. You are expected to be investigating that company. Put yourself in a position like that. You say, okay, I start my job search. They invite me to an interview, but maybe within the next 2 weeks, I will have another 3, 4, 5 interviews. And as a result of 3, 4, 5 interviews within 2 weeks, let's say I have 3 job offers. Which one would I choose? So now, guys, be careful and talk to these people and make sure that if they do offer you a job, you know what you are doing and you really are up to the job and you really want to work with these people. And so what is that company about? That is the question you ask yourself. So you are equal to them. You are not subordinate. And the more you feel like you are equal, so the better. Falling into the answer only route. It is another dimension of no confidence. So you go there to answer the question, to show them you are good enough, so they hire you, and that's it. So you do not maintain any conversation. You are not asking questions. You are not kind of participating as an equal to them. Some people are very technical and very knowledgeable, and all they do is answering questions. If that is the way you go, then there's going to be someone who might be no less skilled than you are, but someone who is kind of live person, having certain interests and motivation and asking questions. And I also talk about shining eyes. You cannot do much, to make your eyes shine. I don't know. I mean, I'm not in that business. Maybe other people will say you can. You have to be more proactive. And they say here, and it is very important, prepared stories. Prepared stories is good because we know all the questions already. There are going to be no single questions they ask you which we don't know yet. People think by pictures. It's not that much verbal. It is verbal as long as the words create pictures in people's mind. So if you come with a story creates a picture. Definition you memorize doesn't create any picture. So you come with a definition, but then you come with a story or an example. You have to connect all the time. Yes, very good. Rambling. Telling your interviewer more than they need to know could be fatal. Your stories should be 60 to 90 seconds long and they should have a relevant point. Guys, it doesn't have to be 60 to 90. I mean, psychologists are saying that beyond 90 seconds, people lose their focus. They cannot really concentrate. The real issue here is sometimes you come with an answer and you might talk for 10 minutes or you might say just 2 sentences and you don't know what they really want. And you never know. And what you can do, you can come with 3, 4 sentences and say, honestly, if you really want me to talk more about it, I'm more than happy to. And then they might say, no, it's okay. Or they say, oh, yes, please. And it tells you exactly what is their area of interest is. Because if you say, we did test cases, this and this and that, and do you want more on that, or I'm just afraid, I'm abusing your time. So no, please keep talking. It means they do want you to talk about test cases, because test cases is their area of interest. Or they say, no, it's okay, let's move. So just asking. Some people, you ask them, a little question, and they start talking and they talk about God knows what, and most of the people, when they talk, it's about them. It is all about them. So you ask them, how did you do test case? It's all about them. It's not about me and my need in test cases. It's not about how we do test cases in this company. It's just all about them. And then they start with test cases, but in 2 sentences, 2 phrases, they move to their childhood and this is college education. I mean, all the crap I didn't even ask, I don't want to know, and they come up with it. That is bad. Because in terms of you being employed and doing productive work, I cannot envision that. I will ask you to do something, and then instead of doing what I want you to be doing, so 90% of that is going to be irrelevant. So you don't want to be in that irrelevancy position. Being overly familiar. I'll give you an example, guys. We had a girl here, 19-year-old girl, and she goes to an internship interview, and she's very live person, very excited. I would say overexcited. Okay, young girl. She goes to a company, and manager is 25. Another young girl, and that 19 years old, she feels like the manager is her best friend now. And this is how she actually treats all the people. Everybody is her friend. And at the end, and she's still a manager, guys. No matter how nice, she's still a manager. And at the end of the interview, manager says, any questions you want to ask? And she says, do you have cute boys here? It is a true story. Guys, that is what people do. That is, they feel like they're friends, they're overly familiar, kind of, you're my best friend. It is a formal event, no matter how nice people are, and they're trying to be nicer than they are in real life. So to keep you relaxed a little bit, they understand you are stressed, and everybody wants to relax you and make sure you are kind of doing your best and so on. Making incorrect assumptions. That relates to answering questions with lots of things you didn't ask, and you don't understand what really was asked. And instead of saying, do you mean this? You start saying, well, probably that is what they wanted. And you come with your own story, and do not make assumptions. If you well, some people, they naturally do not feel like question might be understood a couple of different ways. So they just, all they see is just one way. But if you kind of get the question and it might be one way or another way, don't move forward. Say, do you want me to talk about this, or do you want me to talk about that? Do you want me to tell you specifically about that specific aspect of that? Ask them. It doesn't hurt, really. I mean, and people appreciate you asking questions, because some people are afraid of asking questions, which results in trouble a lot. So asking good questions is considered a very good, character trait. It's very professional. You're supposed to. If you make an incorrect assumption and you come up with God knows what, and they think, why in the world, that person is not answering my question? I would say when I talk to our graduates, when they come to do resumes after internships, 8 out of 10, when I ask them questions, so tell me about this, tell me about that, because I need that to create their resume, to update their resumes. 8 out of 10 start telling me stories I didn't ask about. I don't need them for my resume preparation. They are very destructive. I type their resumes, and they, in the middle of my typing, they start telling me stories which I didn't ask about, but they think it's important to let me know. It's nice. I mean, come with notes, take notes. But, so what I'm saying, making incorrect assumptions is not good. We still do it. I mean, guys, no matter how careful you are, you will run into that. But one thing, you run into that once in a while, which is okay, because we are all humans. And another thing is, you always do that. It's just, you do not do anything different. So that is a real problem. Getting emotional. Guys, we are emotional. We are emotional. They ask you, so why did you leave that job, your last job? They say, they are idiots. They are idiots. They actually fired me. And why they ask me why they fired me? Because I punched that idiot, okay, in his face. But if you see his mug, okay, guys, you will punch him too. So people become, I mean, I'm giving you an idiotic example, but I'm saying people become emotional, and they start coming up with negative things. There is no number 11 which says negative attitude here. I've seen a research, I'm not sure, 12, 15 years ago, there was a research done by, I believe, Monster or DICE or some big recruiting agency, I'm not sure. And they said negative attitude is accountable to 70+% of people fired. Over 70% of people fired are fired because of negative attitude. If it comes to interviewing, guys, imagine if they fire people for that. Imagine how happy they are if they see negative attitude at the time of interview. They are happy because they don't have to fire you. They do not hire you. And getting emotional is one of the ways to run into negative things. And some people are negative by nature. And some people, you look at their face, it says negative. Do not allow yourself to be emotional. And here is the solution. So what you can do to improve in that area. The cure is exposure. Let's say you go to one interview and you're emotional. You go to 3 interviews and you're emotional. Imagine you go to 65th interview, guys. How much are you emotional compared to interview number 1 or 2 or 3? So that is how you do that. You improve by exposing yourself to more interviews and more interviews and more interviews. Let's say in your area you do not have 20 calls a day. It's okay. Create another profile in Los Angeles, another profile in Silicon Valley, another profile in New York. So people think you live there. And you're going to get 50 contacts a day. Talk to them. Let them interview you over the phone. Get exposure to recruiters, get exposure to managers, get exposure to whoever calls you and asks questions, and then it gives you confidence. If you do something 10 times, you are a guru. If you talk to 10 recruiters, guys, you are pretty good. You have confidence, you know what you are talking about, so you are not ashamed or you're not scared, and everybody likes you. If you talk to 10 people who call you for phone screening, which is a 20-30 minute conversation, and they go through your resume, and after 5 phone screenings, there is no single question they ask you which was not asked already. And you just have to prepare. After each and every interview, you prepare. So next time they ask you same question, you are better. And failure is not is not in not getting a job. Failure is in not improving in between 2 conversations. If they ask you same question again and you are not answering better than before, that is a failure.